The secret life of the Carabao buffalo. In the emerald rice paddies of the Philippines and the bustling farmlands of Southeast Asia, a gentle giant moves with quiet dignity through the morning mist. The carabao, known scientifically as Bubalus carabensis, represents far more than just another domesticated animal. It embodies centuries of agricultural tradition, cultural identity, and an intricate relationship between humans and nature that has shaped entire civilizations. Often overshadowed by its more famous cousins, the African Cape buffalo and the American bison, the Carabao buffalo leads a remarkably complex life that intertwines biology, culture, and survival in ways that continue to surprise researchers and captivate those fortunate enough to observe these magnificent creatures up close. Origins and evolution, a journey through time. The story of the carabao begins thousands of years ago in the wetlands and grasslands of Asia. Archaeological evidence suggests that water buffalo were first domesticated around 5,000 years ago in the Indus Valley, but the specific lineage that would become the carabao took a different evolutionary path. These animals descended from wild water buffalo, Bubalus arni, and gradually adapted to the unique environmental conditions of Southeast Asia. The carabao's evolution represents a masterpiece of natural selection and human intervention. Unlike their wild ancestors, which were primarily forest dwellers, carabao developed characteristics that made them perfectly suited for rice cultivation and tropical agriculture. Their broad, splayed hooves evolved to provide excellent traction in muddy conditions, while their dense bone structure and muscular build allowed them to pull heavy loads through challenging terrain. What makes the carabao particularly fascinating from an evolutionary perspective is how quickly they adapted to human partnership. Within just a few thousand years, a blink of an eye in evolutionary terms, these animals developed an almost intuitive understanding of agricultural cycles, seasonal changes, and human behavioral patterns. This coevolution created a symbiotic relationship that would define rural life across Southeast Asia. Physical characteristics. Built for purpose. The carabao's physical appearance reflects its practical role in agricultural society. Standing between 4 to 5 feet tall at the shoulder and weighing anywhere from 800 to 1,200 pounds, these animals possess a robust build that speaks to their working heritage. Their most distinctive feature, the curved, backward-sweeping horns, can span up to 6 feet from tip to tip, serving both as tools for clearing vegetation and as symbols of strength and virility. The carabao's skin appears almost black or dark gray, often covered with a sparse coating of coarse hair. This coloration serves multiple purposes. It provides excellent camouflage in muddy environments, absorbs heat efficiently for thermoregulation, and offers protection against biting insects that plague tropical regions. The skin itself is remarkably thick, providing natural armor against thorns, rocks, and other hazards encountered during daily work. Perhaps most remarkable are the carabao's feet. Each hoof is cloven and spreads wide when the animal steps down, creating a natural snowshoe effect that distributes weight evenly across soft, muddy surfaces. This adaptation allows them to work in flooded rice paddies where other large animals would become hopelessly mired. Their eyes, often described as gentle and intelligent, are positioned to provide excellent peripheral vision, a crucial adaptation for animals that spend much of their time with their heads down, grazing or working. The carabao's hearing is equally impressive, capable of detecting subtle changes in their environment that might indicate weather changes, approaching predators, or human commands. Behavioral patterns. Intelligence in action. Contrary to popular misconceptions about buffalo being stubborn or slow-witted, carabao exhibit remarkable intelligence and complex social behaviors. These animals possess excellent memories, capable of recognizing individual humans even after years of separation, and can learn complex tasks that require multiple steps and careful timing. In the wild or semi-wild settings, carabao live in small herds led by a dominant female, typically the oldest and most experienced cow. This matriarchal structure ensures that knowledge about water sources, safe grazing areas, and seasonal patterns passes from generation to generation. Young carabao learn not just from their mothers, but from the entire herd, creating a rich educational environment that prepares them for adult life. One of the most fascinating aspects of carabao behavior is their relationship with water. These animals are semi-aquatic by nature, spending up to several hours daily submerged in ponds, rivers, or wallows. This behavior serves multiple functions: temperature regulation in tropical heat, protection from biting insects, skin conditioning, and social bonding. Carabao have been observed engaging in playful behaviors while in water, including mock fighting, racing, and what can only be described as synchronized swimming. Their intelligence extends to problem-solving abilities that often surprise their human companions. Carabao have been documented opening gates, navigating complex terrain, and even displaying what appears to be empathy toward distressed herd members or human partners. They can distinguish between different human voices and respond to their names, much like dogs or horses. The human-carabau bond. Partnership through centuries. The relationship between humans and carabao transcends simple domestication. It represents one of history's most successful interspecies partnerships. In traditional Filipino culture, the carabao holds a status similar to that of horses in Western cultures or cattle in Hindu societies. They are not merely work animals but family members, companions, and symbols of prosperity and stability. This bond typically begins early in both the human and carabao's life. Young farmers learn to work with carabao calves, growing up together and developing an almost telepathic understanding of each other's needs and capabilities. Experienced carabao handlers can communicate with their animals through subtle body language, vocal tones, and even specific whistles or calls that carry across great distances. The working relationship between human and carabao is characterized by mutual respect and understanding. Unlike mechanized farming, which operates on rigid schedules and precise inputs, carabao-based agriculture adapts to natural rhythms, weather patterns, and the animal's physical and emotional needs. A skilled farmer knows when their carabao is tired, stressed, or unwell, often before any obvious symptoms appear. This partnership extends beyond work into cultural and spiritual realms. In many communities, carabao are blessed by priests or shamans before important agricultural seasons. They participate in festivals, parades, and religious ceremonies, often decorated with flowers, ribbons, and other ornaments that transform them from work animals into living symbols of community prosperity and cultural continuity. Agricultural significance. The foundation of food security. The carabao's role in Southeast Asian agriculture cannot be overstated. These animals serve as living tractors, providing power for plowing, harrowing, and transportation across millions of small farms where mechanical equipment would be impractical or unaffordable. Their contribution to rice production alone makes them indispensable to food security for hundreds of millions of people. In rice cultivation, carabao excel at preparing paddy fields through a process that combines tilling, puddling, and leveling. Their hooves break up compacted soil while their weight helps create the dense, impermeable layer needed to maintain water levels in flooded fields. This natural preparation method often produces better results than mechanical alternatives, creating optimal conditions for rice seedling transplantation and growth. Beyond rice, carabao contribute to diverse agricultural systems including vegetable cultivation, sugarcane farming, and coconut production. They transport heavy loads over terrain where trucks cannot operate, carry water for irrigation, and provide organic fertilizer that enriches soil without the environmental costs associated with chemical alternatives. The economic impact of carabao extends far beyond their agricultural contributions. In many rural communities, these animals represent the primary form of wealth storage and financial security. A healthy breeding pair can provide income through offspring sales, milk production, and work contracts with neighboring farms. This economic role makes carabao crucial components of rural poverty reduction strategies and sustainable development initiatives. Cultural and spiritual significance. Sacred companions. Throughout Southeast Asia, carabao occupy a unique position in cultural and spiritual life that reflects their deep integration into human society. In the Philippines, the carabao serves as the national animal, symbolizing strength, perseverance, and the agricultural heritage that forms the foundation of Filipino identity. This designation carries profound meaning, as it recognizes not just the animal's practical importance but its role in shaping national character and values. Filipino folklore is rich with carabao stories, from ancient legends explaining their creation to modern tales that use these animals as metaphors for human virtues and vices. Children grow up hearing stories about wise carabao who help heroes overcome obstacles, lazy buffalo who learn the value of hard work, and magical water buffalo with supernatural powers. These narratives serve both as entertainment and as vehicles for transmitting cultural values across generations. Religious and spiritual practices often incorporate carabao in meaningful ways. During harvest festivals, these animals may be decorated with flowers and blessed by community leaders, acknowledging their contribution to the year's agricultural success. Some communities practice ritual bathing of carabao, treating them to special foods, or organizing beauty contests that celebrate the finest examples of animal husbandry and care. The spiritual significance of carabao extends to concepts of karma and reciprocity. Many farmers believe that treating their animals well brings good fortune, while neglect or cruelty results in poor harvests and misfortune. This belief system creates powerful incentives for humane treatment and strengthens the emotional bonds between humans and animals. Challenges and threats. A species under pressure. Despite their cultural importance and practical value, carabao populations face increasing pressures in the modern world. Mechanization of agriculture, while improving efficiency in some contexts, threatens to displace these animals from their traditional roles. Young farmers, attracted by the perceived modernity of tractors and other machinery, may abandon traditional methods without fully understanding the ecological and economic implications. Climate change presents another significant challenge. Rising temperatures, changing rainfall patterns, and increased frequency of extreme weather events affect carabao health and productivity. These animals, perfectly adapted to traditional tropical patterns, struggle to cope with unprecedented heat waves, prolonged droughts, or severe flooding that disrupts their normal behavioral patterns. Disease outbreaks pose constant threats to carabao populations. Foot and mouth disease, hemorrhagic septicemia, and various parasitic infections can devastate herds and undermine the economic security of farm families who depend on these animals. Limited access to veterinary care in rural areas exacerbates these challenges, making prevention and early treatment difficult. Genetic erosion represents a less visible but equally serious threat. As farmers focus on immediate productivity gains, traditional breeding practices that maintain genetic diversity may be abandoned in favor of a few high-performing bloodlines. This narrowing of the gene pool makes entire populations vulnerable to new diseases or environmental changes that might be resisted by more genetically diverse herds. Conservation efforts. Preserving a living heritage. Recognition of the carabao's importance has sparked various conservation initiatives across Southeast Asia. Government programs in the Philippines, Thailand, and other countries provide support for traditional breeding programs, veterinary services, and research into improved husbandry practices that balance productivity with animal welfare. Scientific research plays a crucial role in these conservation efforts. Geneticists work to map carabao DNA, identifying genes responsible for disease resistance, heat tolerance, and other valuable traits. This information helps guide breeding programs that maintain genetic diversity while improving overall herd health and productivity. Educational initiatives target both farmers and consumers, highlighting the ecological advantages of carabao-based agriculture and the cultural value of maintaining traditional practices. These programs often emphasize the environmental benefits of animal-powered farming, including reduced carbon emissions, improved soil health, and enhanced biodiversity compared to mechanized alternatives. International cooperation has become increasingly important in carabao conservation. Organizations like the Food and Agriculture Organization (FAO) support research and development programs that share successful conservation strategies across national boundaries. These collaborations help small countries with limited resources benefit from advances made elsewhere while contributing their own unique knowledge and experience. Modern applications. Ancient wisdom in contemporary context. Interestingly, the carabao's future may lie not just in preserving traditional practices but in applying ancient wisdom to modern challenges. Sustainable agriculture advocates increasingly recognize the environmental advantages of animal-powered farming systems that these buffalo have supported for millennia. In an era of growing concern about carbon emissions and environmental degradation, carabao offer attractive alternatives to fossil fuel-dependent farming methods. Their integration into permaculture systems, organic farming operations, and ecological restoration projects demonstrates how traditional knowledge can contribute to contemporary environmental solutions. Research into carabao behavior and cognition also contributes to broader understanding of animal intelligence and human-animal relationships. Studies of their problem-solving abilities, social structures, and emotional responses provide insights applicable to animal welfare, conservation biology, and even robotics development inspired by biological systems. The carabao's role in rural tourism represents another modern application of traditional culture. Visitors from urban areas and foreign countries increasingly seek authentic experiences that connect them with traditional ways of life. Well-managed carabao-based tourism can provide income for rural communities while creating incentives for maintaining traditional practices and animal husbandry skills. The future of the carabao: balancing tradition and progress. As Southeast Asia continues its rapid development and modernization, the future of the carabao hangs in the balance between tradition and progress. The challenge lies not in choosing between old and new ways, but in finding sustainable paths that preserve valuable elements of traditional culture while embracing beneficial aspects of modernization. Technology offers promising tools for supporting carabao conservation and utilization. GPS tracking systems help monitor animal health and behavior. Mobile applications connect farmers with veterinary services and market information, and genetic testing enables more informed breeding decisions. These innovations can enhance traditional practices rather than replace them entirely. Education will prove crucial in determining whether future generations value and maintain their relationships with carabao. School programs that connect urban children with rural farming communities, university research projects that document traditional knowledge, and cultural festivals that celebrate carabao heritage all contribute to keeping this relationship alive and relevant. The carabao's secret life, rich with intelligence, emotion, and cultural significance, reveals truths about sustainable living, interspecies cooperation, and the wisdom embedded in traditional practices. As the world grapples with environmental challenges, food security concerns, and the search for more meaningful relationships with the natural world, these gentle giants offer lessons that extend far beyond their immediate agricultural contributions. In the quiet moments of dawn, as mist rises from rice paddies and a carabao moves slowly through the shallows, we witness not just an animal at work but a living symbol of humanity's capacity for partnership with nature. The secret life of the Carabao buffalo reminds us that some of our most important relationships are built not on dominance or exploitation, but on mutual respect, understanding, and the shared journey toward a sustainable future. Their story continues to unfold in countless small farms and rural communities, where each day brings new examples of the remarkable bond between human and animal that has sustained civilizations and could yet help guide us toward a more harmonious relationship with the natural world. The carabao's greatest secret may be its ability to show us that progress and tradition need not be enemies, that the wisdom of ages can inform the innovations of tomorrow, creating a future where ancient partnerships continue to flourish in modern contexts.